What's up guys, welcome to the first development video on this channel. And so for those of you who are unaware or new to this channel, I'll be mainly posting game development videos which utilises the Roblox Studio engine and maybe soon in the future the Unity engine. But you might also see videos on me bot developing on Discord or doing web development. Now, so what you're seeing in this video is my upcoming release Proximus, which is an upcoming sci-fi TPS, and in particular I'll be showing you on how I made the coin effect that you see when you gain credits. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. So I've just very quickly made a simple GUI and credits. If you do want to follow along the tutorial, I will have these assets in the link below for you to go take. So the first step we just need to do is create a remote event. So if we just add a remote event and call this game line, and then we just need to create a local script and just follow exactly what I'll do, and I'll be sure to explain it straight after we're done writing. Just as a quick run through, all we're doing is we're referencing the GUI itself, and now we're finding the frame leader stats. So this is the frame leader stats, which contains our two stats, and then we have two frames, the credits and the gold. Obviously we're just focusing on the gold, and this is the value of the credits, and obviously this is just for aesthetic wise, just to show that it's credits. Now GUI elements is all the viewport frames, once they've been all made and ready to be tweened, they get put into a table, and I'll just get into a moment why we need GUI elements. Now this is an event listener, so from the server, once we fire the client, this is going to listen for any clients that have been fired from this remote event. So we have an AnimD bounce, which is if we are receiving money and we just happen to receive money again, we do not want the screen to be potentially bombarded by random coins being generated all over the screen. So if there is a effect currently going on at the moment, then it's not going to happen 2 times in a row. So X and Y are the variables for the position on where we're going to put the viewports. Now we've done 100 to 170 because we don't want it too far to the left or too far to the right. And now we've divided it by 1000 because in Roblox scales work from 0 to 1. So we need this to be a number between 0 and 1. So this would now just become 0.75, and this would be any number between 0 and 1. And now we just got the amount of coins. Now this will be the amount of coins or the viewport frames you would see that are ready to tween to the position that we specified. And now we have a CX and CY. So this is because once we have the random position, we want to add another position so all the coins are scattered, not just in one particular place, or it will just give the illusion that there's one coin. And now we just set the size. So this can be dependent on how big you want the viewport frames. For my case, I've just set it to 0.25 and 0.42. And once we make the coins, we're now going to set the parent to the GUI. So we need a viewport camera. So this is going to be the camera on where we see the viewport frame. Because think of viewport frames kind of as a workspace in of itself. It's going to need a camera so we're able to see within that workspace. And now we just need to set the frame's current camera. So now we've made the viewport frame, we need to set it a camera, which is obviously what we've made as an instance. And now we're just grabbing the credit coins, which will be in the link below, as I said. And what you need to do is, if you're not going to use this asset, your credit coin needs to be a model and it needs to have a primary part. So we now have 2 variables. So this is the center C frame and this is the size. So now we have the coin, we're going to get bounding box. Now what is get bounding box? Get bounding box determines the volume of the model as a box. So even if you have a circle or a cylinder, as I may say, it's still going to calculate the volume, the C frame and the size as if it were a box. And once we have that, we now need to set the C frame of the viewport camera. So now within this virtual workspace that we have for the viewport frame, we now need to set the C frame. So how are we going to set the C frame? Now cframe.new takes in 2 arguments: where we're going to position the camera and where the camera is going to look at. So we set the viewport to the C frame of the coin, and now we need to give an offset because you won't be able to see the coin if we don't set an offset. So all we're doing is we're timesing it by a new C frame. So the X axis is going to stay the same, the Y axis is going to stay the same. However, the Z axis will become minus, so we're going backwards. And we don't need the full C frame, we just need the position. And then now we need to specify direction where to look at. So now we have the coin, we need to get the primary back. And then from there we get the C frame, and then we just get the position from that C frame. And once we've done that, we're just going to insert this viewport frame already with the coin being able to be viewable, and we just put it within a table. Once that's all done, we're now going to loop through this table, and obviously I being pairs, we just named it coin view because coin view is referring to each one of these viewport frames within the table. And then we're just going to have a random wait time. So not all of them are going to be tweened at the same time, they're all going to have a different way, almost like it's randomly going to the specified position. Now npos tween is on the 2-dimensional, this is the UI, we now just need to set on where the coin is going to go. So if you have a look at my credits, if I just show you right here, as you can see, the position is just around here. So the coins will go just around this position. Credit destroy is once we reach the tween. So we've created a tween over here. Now we're just tweening the position, and we're just giving it an argument that the goal of it is to go to the position that we specified, end position tween, and we need to give it direction. Now because it's going out, we set the easing direction to out. Now the easing style is the way the tween animation is. Now I've done elastic because it has a particularly nice tweening for what we're doing. And this time, obviously I've just set it to 1, if you want to set it to longer you can always do so. If we then set this to reverse, and once the tween is done, we're gonna, sorry about that guys, my mic just got out. Once we have the tween finishes, we're then gonna fire this function, which is just going to destroy the credits, and it's also just going to update the credit, the stats value. Once the tweening of the coins is completely done and all the coins have been destroyed, we are then going to empty the table, and then we're going to redo the debounce, ready for it to be used again. So now we have the local side of the effect done. We now need to do the server side. So in the script, type exactly what I type, and then I'll explain to you afterwards. So now, just as an explanation of what's going on in this server script, once a player joins the game, we're going to pass the variable player. Now, we need to create for this player a leader stats, so we do local leader stats, and we create a folder. We give the leader stats its name, so we're going to name it leader stats and set the parent of it to the player. Now we're going to create a credit instance, so we're going to have an int value, and we're going to name that credit because that's the name of our currency, and then we're going to set the value of it to 20 or whatever you want, just for the purpose of this video, say it's 20. And now the parent is going to be leader stats, and once we fire the event for this, which I've just made, the button, and I've just set it to fire event and then give another 20, it needs to now fire this function, which is going to add the money, and it's going to fire the client, which initiates the effect. So if we now just try this out, and as you can see, it will cause the effect, and you'll be able to get the money. Thank you guys for watching.